Hi, I'm Doron Ofir. I'm the original credited casting director for RuPaul's Drag Race, and I'm going to tell you how I cast these bitches.
Back rolls.
I'm back again, and I'm going to tell you how I helped cast RuPaul's Drag Race, how we found the original queens, and then we're going to cast the feature film version of RuPaul's Drag Race, the movie. When given this opportunity, I thought about it from a point of view of how would I make this movie iconic, cult status? And the first person I thought in mind was Christopher Guest and his version of mockumentaries, whether it's in the vein of This Is Spinal Tap or Best in Show. Here's the vision, and I can't do it without a very special guest who is an actress, a casting director, a singer.
Ooh, that's me.
Wait a minute, I'm trying to give you your Nina Flowers.
on.
Willam, join me.
Yay! Kissy Christmas, Ruru.
When casting a film like this, a lot of thought went into it because you can't recreate the same roles with the same people. And I used certain criteria in my head. What would gain a loyal audience that also doesn't alienate the current audience? I didn't go by visuals, so I know that, like, I don't know.
Olivia Rodrigo as RuPaul.
Exactly.
Not gonna be that.
It's not gonna be that. You know, the hardest one to cast would be Ru herself. And I bounced a bunch of stuff back and forth. And what was funny was, if I was trying to appeal to Ru, I would say it should be Vanessa Williams. But the thought of Vanessa Williams in a bald plastic headpiece while playing Ru as a boy kind of scares me.
I have some choices for RuPaul. Maybe we can pre-read them.
That's right.
I think Nathan Lee Graham is so funny on Mid-Century Modern. I think they would be a great RuPaul. It's a face that we know and trust. We've seen them on Zoolander and Sweet Home Alabama. It's someone that we know, and that's why we like Ru. We're comfortable with her, and that's why we love all the trauma she gives us.
I thought to myself who would have the acting chops, and one of my favorite actors currently is Colman Domingo.
Oh yes, so good in Sing Sing.
And him playing a sassy, drag, spectacular role with those chops, that affectation in his voice would add an element to Ru that I think from a theatrical perspective would be just genius. And in a mockumentary format, I think he would just own that role.
And Doron, you may not know this, but Colman Domingo already played RuPaul on the Big Gay Sketch Show in 2011 or 2010 with my friend Michael Serrato, who was a hooker named Chocolate Puddin'.
I did not know that. See, this is why
so Colman would be perfect.
Colman Domingo is RuPaul. When thinking of Michelle Visage, and thinking if it's a Christopher Guest movie, and after the current success as a boozy Southern housewife, Parker Posey as Michelle Visage.
I see your Parker Posey, and I raise you a Marissa Tomei.
Don't you think Marissa Tomei might be too old?
No.
But from a cult point of view, you rechannel the party girl element of
party
Parker
girl.
Posey as age
Hello.
as Michelle Visage.
Yeah, that works. That very much works.
Oh, good.
Parker wanted. Sorry, next time, Marissa.
Playing Michelle Visage is the iconic Parker Posey.
Yes, agreed. Who's next? Santino or Carson?
Well, I have...
Or Ross or Billy B?
Well,
There's so many.
Well, like, listen, the biggest cheerleader, the person who's always so happy is Ross Matthews.
Yes.
And Ross Matthews became iconic in his own right by being Jay Leno's assistant.
Yes.
And as an actor, I think somebody who could be clapping and fun and overstimulated would be Josh Gad.
Oh, that is perfect. I would love to see Josh Gad take on a role like Ross Matthews.
And especially in an ensemble cast where the mockumentary is done in this fourth wall break, Josh is a genius.
Yes.
So playing Ross Matthews, it's Josh Gad.
For sure.
And that brings us to Carson Kressley. And you know, he's a difficult one, but to me, the person that I think that Carson could be most beneficial, I actually have two.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Could you imagine?
Or Portia, either one, I don't care.
I was thinking in terms of Bill Hader. And after his SNL, like, you know, whole Stefan thing with New York's greatest nightclub, it's so funny. And if you really wanted to go outside the box, look, Carson is a little bit of a potty mouth. He's definitely somebody that makes sexual innuendo, and I thought maybe take it to a place of food and do Armie Hammer.
Okay. Okay, now what about for Santino? For Santino, I personally was thinking, who was I thinking? I wasn't thinking about him.
I have Crispin Glover.
Perfect.
I think that Crispin will give that intensity that's a little bit creepy, but also a genius actor. Let's forget about his personal life. Let's just go right into what he can deliver. I think that Crispin would embody Santino Rice in a way that would make it really funny, actually.
Yeah, that could really work. I also could see Alaska as boy version playing Santino. Like some overlord.
Oh, that's so funny.
Like Mr. Burns or something.
Yeah, that was the same reason why I came up with Crispin. I mean, like, if you sort of like his head just
very
pops
nice.
out from the background. And then we've got Merle, and Merle, when we cast Merle on season 1, I love Merle. I love her fashion aesthetic. The show originally also was sort of a send up to America's Top Model, Project Runway, American Idol, and a blender. And Merle was the perfect choice at the time, being that Michelle Visage was unavailable. In my head, I'm torn. So I have Aubrey Plaza.
I think that's great. Aubrey Plaza is very dry. She has that aloofness about her. Merle just never really seemed like she was that interested in being there. She seemed happy to be there, and Aubrey is the same way on red carpets,
And what about Sarah Silverman?
Sarah Silverman would be a wonderful Michelle Visage understudy.
Fine, there you go.
Aubrey Plaza as Merle Ginsburg. Bring back my Merle. I don't know her name. What's that girl from Euphoria? She plays Maddie. Alexa Demi. She would be my choice for Adore, I think.
It's funny, when I thought of Adore, I thought because of her singing career, for me, my choice would have been Miley Cyrus.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's really good. They both have like big megawatt smiles like they swallowed the sun. Okay, so Adore Delano is Miley Cyrus. It's time to trust the Duchess. Who are we casting for? Alyssa Edwards.
Alyssa Edwards. Again, Alyssa's one of these people. In my head, it's Channing Tatum. I think that Channing Tatum's viral voguing video in the middle of the street, I think his lip sync battle performance, I think that he would kill it.
I think that he would be great too, but he has custody this week, so let's get Jenna Dewan Tatum. We'll get Jenna.
Oh,
thanks,
please.
Jenna. Jenna would be a great Alyssa, Jenna Dewan. So Alyssa Edwards as Jenna Dewan. No more Tatum. So she was Jenna Dewan Tatum.
Tatum.
And
married.
And now she hates him, so it's not Tatum.
So that's a bit of a dig, but yeah, let's go with your suggestion. I'm in.
Alyssa Edwards is Jenna Dewan Tatum.
Mouth click.
Wait. There you go.
I can't do it alone.
Alyssa taught me how. You just have to make sure your butthole is clenched too at the same time, because otherwise the suction doesn't propitiate through the channels.
Mouth canal.
Okay, so let's cast Alaska next.
Okay, well, she's your bestie. So, this is an interesting one for me because originally I had Bill Hader not play Carson Kressley, and I had him playing Alaska, and it's not a visual reference, it's just he's so talented, multifaceted the way Alaska is. And then I was like, okay, another person that can do it would have been Lady Gaga. And
cut print, Lady Gaga is Alaska Thunder. For sure, I agree with that.
perfect.
Yes, I'm
Yay.
sorry. When you're right, you're right.
I win.
Casting Bob the Drag Queen, we'd have to think about a lot of different things. Are we trying to compliment her or portray her realistically?
Well, in a movie like this, again, I'm thinking about it as a mockumentary. I'm thinking about who could play with Christopher Guest and the rest of the cast. It's very improv. So a film like this would require some chops. In my head, it's Terry Crews.
Okay, I'm not mad at that, but I also think that Bob could be really, really funny as Jordan Peele. What's Peele's
Partner?
It Keegan Michael Key? Is that his
Yeah, I
name?
think so.
So he could be a good backup for RuPaul if Coleman says no.
And then we have both of them playing off of each other. Yeah, I see
There's
it.
so many options.
Bob the Drag Queen is played by
Jordan Peele. She's got that softness, that cherubic cheek too. Bob will look so young, ingenue. So we're casting Chad Michaels as like the Betty Buckley, the memory cat. What are we doing? Are we going for classic Surge, Erica Jane as Chad Michaels?
Ooh, I just think that it should be Cher. It should be a walk-on role. Cher should come on and be like, Megan, what Tootsie?
I think that Chad Michaels, portrayed by Cher, feels right and sits well in all of our stomachs, for sure.
She deserves that.
Chad Michaels is played by Cher. Ooh, D to the E to the T to the O, hold it. Casting Detox, the bird from the Fruit Loops container. Or Angelica Houston.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, wait.
Angelica Houston saw Detox at a party in front of me, and she was painted like a Baldessari painting, which is like blue dots and red triangles and bullshit on her face. And Detox said to Angelica, people tell me I resemble you all the time. And Angelica went, I see that.
Yeah, look, Detox is an iconic, brilliant walking art piece.
Yeah.
So in my head, it was Tilda Swinton.
Or Pete Burns, we could dig him up. Detox has just such a level of panicity that is like palpable. When you get in the room, you're like, Detox is here. I think we need somebody to maybe a Kim Petras as Detox.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's your final pick?
Angelica Houston as Detox.
Yeah. Okay, so Jinx Monsoon's another one. So, I had originally thought Ben Platt, but then I was like, I think that Daniel Radcliffe as Jinx Monsoon. I think that Harry Potter has shown some incredible acting ability, singing ability. He's been naked. He's broken out of his
he was naked.
Fantasy role, and I think that Jinx would be something that he could really kill it as.
I think he might love that, but Emma Watson might be a more flattering visage for Ms. Jinx. What about Natasha Lyonne?
I think that Natasha Lyonne is a pharmaceutically assisted narcoleptic, so...
Natasha Lyonne as Jinx Monsoon.
Love it.
Okay, so let's cast Jujubee, the contestant who's been on the most episodes of Drag Race ever.
Ever. And every franchise. For me, I just think that Jujubee needs to be really funny, and I think that the person that could play her brilliantly would be Alec Mapa.
Oh, wow. Alec Mapa has done drag before, too. She was in Connie and Carla as Cream.
Cream.
She was Peach's friend. I think Alec Mapa would be a great Jujubee. Alec Mapa could play Jujubee in All Stars, and Joel Kim Booster could play her in original season. Okay. Jujubee is Joel Kim Booster and Alec Mapa. Katya Zamachkolovica is going to be played by someone who has a deep hole.
Look, I want somebody who's going to come in and play her over the top, who's going to be a hot mess.
Who? Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
Oh. I had in my mind Michael Cera.
Oh.
I just think that his sort of tall, lanky, and a pair of heels that he won't be able to walk on is not the Katya visual, but it's the Katya artistic representation.
I think Katya, played by Michael Cera, would be brilliant. Casting Latrice Royale, that is some heavy-duty Judy work, because she's one of my best friends.
Latrice is the I have Tracy Morgan. And then I was thinking, if you wanted to go pop culture icon, I have Terry Jo, the TikTok.
Oh, she's great.
Fame.
Yeah,
and I think she could give it some real interesting chops. Look, Madonna did Rush. She did Poppers on Terry Jo's call-in live on TikTok. It was just, talk about cult icon status.
Hey, Terry Jo. Terry Jo is Latrice Royale.
I think Latrice would appreciate it too. She's
Me too.
Young Latrice.
Okay, casting Raja is going to be some heavy-duty beauty. I think it should be India Moore from Pose. India's beautiful. She's kind of like a supermodel. She doesn't want to really be there, kind of attitude, but she can just turn it on for the cameras.
She's so ethereal in her being, and especially after her run on All Stars, where she was giving you sort of earth goddess. For me, Lenny Kravitz.
They both have big too.
I wouldn't know.
Huge. I think that would be good. But also, say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
So it's Tilda Swinton, right?
Tilda Swinton as RuPaul. Oh, sorry, as Raja.
Has everyone.
Honestly.
And look, if we're gonna do a cast of iconic people popping in, popping out, whether they're auditioning or they're working a runway,
We're getting kicked out.
we can't do it without you.
Okay, so I have some ideas for me.
I want to hear everybody.
Miss Piggy,
Oh, but that's funny.
Mae Whitman, because her face is kind of just like open and I like believe in everything she says. And again, she's a child actor and people have been seeing her for years, so they feel like they know her. And when people come up to me, they always feel like they know me too. That's probably because I performed oral sex on them. Mae Whitman just has this openness to her that I feel like I have also, and not just my legs.
I would like to cast a fashion icon,
Okay.
an icon of both queer and independent cinema. And
I can't play myself, Doron. I can't play myself.
I just think it needs to be Chloe Sevigny.
Oh! I'll take it. She's got that like you attitude that I think I definitely share.
And I think that she would be funny as you, and I think that it would allow us to see her chops in an ensemble cast that would be just banana.
Chloe Sevigny as Willam. I think once you get all these queens in the same room, first of all, we need security. Second of all, we need a lot of duct tape because
Channing Tatum. Look, these are all professionals. I think that they would bounce off of each other brilliantly. I think that if it's a mockumentary and it's sort of the audition process, it's sort of the final cast, it's the people being thrown out, it's Crispin Glover popping in all creepy in the background, looking all like sideways. I think that there's so much richness that is such a parody of what has become a decade and a half of global domination that it's just, it would be another one of these.
it's comedy right for the picking, I feel like. I'm there. I am there. Get me the popcorn. I can't wait to eat some Twizzlers. That's what I call my boyfriend.
So that's RuPaul's Drag Race, the movie.
Girl, I'm getting tickets right now. Fandango, come on.
Midnight showing.
Bye.
Bye. Having a history doing LGBT programming and sort of being on the forefront of it, it was the next great evolution for me as a casting director. I had come off of the first ever bisexual bachelorette show, Shot at Love, and I had done a bunch of other programs in the field, and I wanted to champion what was near and dear to my heart. The caveat with Drag Race was that it was a secondary cable network with a very tiny budget that really didn't include a casting budget. There was no fame or upside for anyone to participate. It wasn't the kind of thing that people wanted to be a part of. I had to sell the concept to drag queens nationwide and say, come and show your stuff on national television. And their response was like, well, why? Conceptually, the show was very different back then. They were going to bring a friend. And so it was a dual casting. The friend that they were going to bring was either going to be somebody that can help them sew, do hair, makeup, because traditionally, drag queens do not always excel at every element. And for various reasons, it was going to take the budget into a different level. And so it had to be the queen herself. The extraordinary feat of somebody who can sing, dance, sew, style, do makeup, do hair wigs is a minute percentage of the drag population, which made my job really difficult. Not only that, I'm trying to sell an idea to a community that wasn't embracing the concept. They were afraid that we were going to make fun of them. They were afraid that we were going to humiliate them. I have found, and in my experience, that the most extraordinary personalities in reality television history were the ones that didn't know that they were going to be on a reality show. They were approached and they were like, what do you want? And they took a minute to listen to the pitch and then they were like, let me think about it. You know, Angina, we scouted her at a club in Los Angeles downtown. And she was on stage performing with her bald head. And I was like, that is so cool. And I remembered approaching her and she was like, I'm not interested. And it took us a while to explain to her what the impact of her would be on a show like this. And she was like, well, I'm not a traditional drag queen. But that's what made her stand out. And that's what made her so unique. These are the shows that really, over the last 10 years, have changed the world. RuPaul's Drag Race has countless spin-offs in every country. I am part of a legacy that I am really proud. And the concept of casting a feature film, which would be a send-up to Drag Race, is probably one of the coolest things I've ever been asked to do, and that's why I'm here.